Welcome to session number 7 of Understanding Spreadsheets as an Engineering Tool, talking about graphics. We have a couple topics to talk about. We're going to talk about how to create a graph from Excel data. We're going to talk about inserting a picture from some other software into Excel. We'll talk about some of the symbols and shapes you can create in Excel or Google Docs or Calc. I have a couple columns of data. The first one I created by just using a series down through here. The next one I did data. I just typed in another set of numbers. I grabbed these numbers, told it I want to insert a line chart, and I grabbed 2D line chart and I created a line chart. This is not very exciting, but I could grab this numbers and say I want to put in a column, 2D column chart. Not very exciting because it goes 1 through 10, but you can edit that. You can do stuff with it. You can move this around. You notice it's part of this particular tab. It's not its own tab. It's part of that particular worksheet's tab for that data. But you saw I could highlight it, do different things with it. If I don't like the color, I can highlight the color and it'll let me change the color. It'll let me change what it looks like. I want that to be an orange graph. You saw the graph lines behind that. It just went to orange. I can highlight the series and say I want the legend to be at the top, not the bottom. There's the legends at the top. I want it to be solid fill, so there's a fill behind it. Across here, I can come across here and say, well, I really want the line that goes through. I want it to be orange, so grab that. So it changed the series. You notice it changed it in both the legend and on the graph. Well, the sky's the limit. There's a bunch of those. It's pretty obvious, but sometimes you do need to make a graph based on data. So that's not too difficult. Number 2 is I want to insert. I've got some stuff. I've produced something, and I need to I need to stick in a video, a graph, a picture I've made from something else. Here was a picture I put in. Once you stick it in, yes, I like a good pun. I can resize it, move it around the screen, and it's part of that workbooks tab as well. To get a new one to come in, I could type insert, picture. It's going to ask me where do I want to grab that picture. I'm going to grab one of the old homework problems from some class. There's a homework problem. I can resize it a little bit. If I need to resize it, grab one of the arrows across to there. I can come back in here. If I hit the right mouse button, I have the crop function. I can say I want to get rid of the right-hand side. I want to get rid of the bottom stuff across the bottom. A little bit across there, and make it look a little prettier. So I can crop it. So inserting a graphic is not too bad. The third thing I want to potentially do here is I want to introduce some shapes or some symbols. Again, when I'm trying to do this, I'm going to go to the insert key over here, and I can grab symbol. And when I grab symbol, it's going to ask me for any number of symbols. I can go here. Here's the ones I've recently used. You see things like mu and theta and degrees and plus or minus, things along those lines. Here's some other trig functions if you're trying to do I needed to do that. I will click on it, say insert. I hit the insert twice, so I get a double integral. X dx, and I just created that. I'm going to go up to home. I'm going to change that font size a little bigger so it's a little easier to see. So that's entering symbols. I can go up to insert. I can also grab different shapes that are predefined shapes, and that's how I generated this arrow and this cloud. And you'll notice I've got things like I've got all the basic flowchart symbols. I have relatively big symbols. I might have something along those lines. There's the symbol itself. I can always type text in the spreadsheet behind it. When I grab this, lay it on top of it, you notice it's kind of overlaid off top of it. I really want the text to be inside the symbol. So I'm going to double click on it and tell it I want to edit the text. And this text is inside. And you'll notice across here I can change the color. I can change how the font looks. I can change all kinds of different things. I can change the size of that particular one. And those are generic shapes. And there's under Insert Shapes, there's a whole bunch that are available. Some are very nice. You can identify things pretty quickly. That's kind of nice. Clip art is, think of those as images that are put in by default by your system. They're just pictures that somebody else has already collected and put in there for you. So, okay. So that's entering the graphics into Excel. What if I have something like this Excel and I want to put this picture of this worksheet into another, like a Word document? I can hit the Shift print screen and copy this to the clipboard. Lots of different programs, Macintoshes and Linux systems also have something called a Snippet Tool. Under Windows, I can tell it I want to do, I think it's under Accessories. I've got the Snippet. And now I don't see the Snippet. Oh, Snippet Tool, Snipping Tool. Okay, and it's asking me where do I want to do it. I'm going to say I want to grab this right here and just move that to the clipboard. Now I can actually paste that image into a Word document. That's not a bad way of going back and forth between two different programs. Okay, I can actually save that as a JPEG or insert it somewhere else if I want to. So graphics are one of the things we really need with spreadsheets, so hopefully you got a good understanding of that. See you in the last session, session number 8. We're going to go through a couple of worked examples.